The one thing, there are three things that Spirit wants you to remember. And I'll tell you what all that is in a minute. The one thing for sure is you want to make sure that you keep moving forward. You're not alone. You are never alone in this journey. Even if you feel alone and isolated, you're not. Because when I was thinking about that, I wasn't supposed to do anything. I mean, I'm 5.5 months into this year, and the way this year is unfolding is not what I expected at all. But yet it's unfolding in one of the most beautiful ways that I can imagine. And because I'm trusting Spirit, it's happening. Now, I've also noticed that when things are going on around you or within your body, it's about trusting that everything's okay. So I'm going to tell you what happened, because this isn't always easy for me either. So when I made breakfast this morning, and I'm just all this stuff that I just went on about my mom, and that what we have to do, what the sound therapy does is that it helps to unlock what you're holding on to, because we stuff everything into our bodies. And most of the stuff that we hide is within the sexual centers of our bodies, because we know nobody's going to go there, or at least we think that. So that's the first thing. Then the next thing that came in was movement, like dance movement. And what it is movement. When you're moving the energy, and that starts to release whatever's locked inside your body. So there's a movement that I'm going to be teaching people, and how to release on a very deep level. And it's not like you have to refeel whatever this stuff is that you went through. It's just a release. Then the crystals that I work with will take whatever that angst, that garbage, the pain, the suffering, whatever your thought forms, whatever that is, the crystals will remove it from the body. And then the essential oils come in to start the healing and elevate you to that next frequency. And that was very powerful to learn last night and this morning. So this morning, and this is how beautiful Spirit works. I'm sitting there eating breakfast, and I look up, and there's two pigeons, not pigeons, doves. And I look up and I'm like, what is he doing to her? And I'm like, oh, they're mating. And I was like, whoa, okay, I got that. Body mind connection, spirit body. There was this melding of conscious, subconscious, third to fifth dimensional energies. There was a melding, because that's what the intercourse is. It's that copulation, it's merging. So I'm bringing all of me in, because, there also felt like there was somewhat of a disconnect going on. Then I'm going to pick up my truck, and there's an eagle flying overhead. Now, I have to look at Animal Speaks to really get the full meaning of the eagle. But what I do know is that the eagle can soar real high, and they can dial in and see what's way down there to capture whatever they're going to eat or whatever it is. So there's this freedom of this magnificent bird that's out there doing its thing. And his spirit's like saying, okay, you're right on the right path with this. I'm like, okay. So then I go to the grocery store, and on the way, once I'm putting the groceries into my car, all of a sudden I get lambasted with this energy that went straight into my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I got incredibly hot. I got lightheaded. I thought I was going to faint. And it's like, okay, body, we got to get home. We got to get home. Let me get this in the car, and we got to get home. And I held my stomach all the way home, and then it subsided. I managed to get everything in the house. And then I was like, okay, something's wrong. I had to lay down. And then of course I lay down, and my cats come along to me, and they come in and they start just laying there, and they're like holding the space. And I'm like feeling like, whoa, and now I'm freezing. So I knew that this was some sort of a healing. I wouldn't say it a crisis, because it didn't feel like a crisis, but it was a healing that was going on. And I thought, I've got to get up and get the frozen foods at least in the refrigerator, because things could start defrosting, and I didn't want to do that. And I did. And then all of a sudden I had to rush to the bathroom because whatever this is, it's very painful. That's wanting to come out. And so I went to the bathroom, and then it's like, oh my God, I am still really lightheaded. So I laid down again, and then the other cat came in to take care of me. And I'm thinking, I got 10 minutes before this show. It's like, body, spirit, you got to get me ready for this show, because I don't feel like I am really handling any of this very well. I knew that I would be here. I knew I would I knew I would show up. I knew spirit would take care of me, and they did. But I want all of you guys to really understand that when things like this are happening, it's not like you're being punished. There's nothing wrong with you during this period. This is a part of what the releasing is. And that's something else that people don't, because we don't want to feel icky. We don't want to have these experiences and sensations in the body because it scares us. And there's nothing to be afraid. It's that I opened a door when I was talking with Ashley. It was like we both opened this door, and we both like were supporting each other and helping each other and navigating together through this. And I said, I think the next time we have a conversation, and she said, we better have our notepads and pens together and take notes, because there was so much information that's been coming down. Even she's been downloaded all day about women, because she's saying that a lot of women are feeling very dense and heavy in their bodies right now. And I'm sitting here going, I have felt so bloated for so long. And all of a sudden it's like this bloat's going. And she said, well, what if that's the protection that you had to have? And now that your father's passed and that threat is gone, that all of a sudden that bloating is gone, that protection mechanism. And of course, it's in the stomach area. It's in the solar plexus, my power centers. So I didn't feel confident enough to move forward because I was always felt like I was still looking over my shoulder. Now, my spirit knew where my father was at and knew that he was probably getting close to death. Even if I didn't know, they knew. So when that's going on, I'm sitting here going, okay, well, that makes sense. And then when I'm talking about the Mediterranean diet, there's also that, because now I'm eating differently. My energy's changing. The frequency of the food is different. And all of that's playing a part. And most of us are so unconscious that we don't see this. Now, when Michael was taking me to get my car, we're on I-25, and I'm sitting here hanging on for dear life, and he's noticing I'm freaking out, and I'm apologizing because I'm not meaning to freak out on him. But I'm just feeling like all this energy, and I realized that the vibration that I was in was not 3D dimensional energy, and it was too much because I hadn't anchored and brought my energy frequencies down to deal with 3D. Now, right before that, the other thing that I realized is I forgot to pay my payroll taxes. Now that I had payroll taxes, I needed to file the forms. I'm 3 weeks late on filing my tax returns for payroll. And I'm like, whoa, where have I been? Because I don't forget that stuff. And I realize when I'm in a fifth dimensional energy, 3D goes by the wayside. So it's like, okay, you're going to either have a VA who can keep you on track with 3D stuff so you can go out and live in the ethers, or you're going to learn how to live in both worlds. Now, I came to the conclusion that I don't know if I can live in both worlds simultaneously because they're so different. Now, that may not be true, but I don't know yet. Now, Jesus probably lived in there because he was an enlightened being, but he still dealt with 3D stuff. I don't know. I'm learning, people. I'm learning. So I came to the realization with all of this that I just need to relax into it. And Spirit said that all of this is coming forward, but it's not the time yet. I mean, we are getting closer and closer. And when I was talking to Ashley, she said there's going to be something that's going to happen that's going to wake everybody up to a degree that there's going to be such a shift. Now, I believe that, and I've always believed that. But what I picked up when she said it was something different. That it's more of I don't know if it's a darker energy or if it's something that's going to happen politically or in another country. I can't tell you, but I just know that it's going to be so monumental that if you're meant to wake up and do something to help the inhabitants navigate through whatever is coming, then this is your time to really finish working through whatever it is. I know with the breaking up of my father and releasing of the tethering of him, it's not time yet, but I'm close because they're going to give me an actual procedure in how to do that. So I am completely free of my parents and my family and anybody else that I was tethered to at one time, or they may still be tethered to me. It doesn't matter if they're dead or alive. I'm going to break all chains and break all contracts. That all of that is over. Now, I've said my entire life that this is my last lifetime, and I'm beginning to understand why I have said that, because of the deep, profound, painful work that I have done in my life. And I'm telling you, it sucks to do this work, but I guarantee you it's worth every bit of what you do, because when you do that, spirit starts coming towards you in a way that you don't realize. It's pushing you beyond what you know, what your 3D limits are, and you find that part of you. I know what surrender is, and I'm learning that I don't know what surrender is at the same time. Like, I've mastered part of surrender, but I'm going into a whole new level, that the definitions that we have are very shallow and we're going deeper. I have said this in the past. 3D world, we are in our heads. You go into higher vibrations, it's in your heart. If the heart doesn't open and you heal your body, you're not going to ascend. You're not going to move up until you start releasing as much of the garbage as you can release. And the best way to do that is to be present now.